Joe Lumley on the ball. Oh, he's fucked it. And Madueke took Nkunku. It's 2-1 Chelsea. The only direction the Saints are marching is down to the Championship. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. And I'm joined in the virtual room filled with Lions. I've got Ollie. I've got Chris. So straight away, you know where your mind's going for the Lone Army. Yeah. But we'll wait for that. It's the Friday show on a Thursday. And of course, the question, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well.
I'm nervous. I'm a little bit nervous.
I'm sorry, I got nothing.
Oh, for
I got nothing.
sake.
I wish I was doing something interesting. I think I'm just working, which is so boring.
I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why, because tomorrow I'm out tomorrow morning at 8 and I don't get back until 8. So I'm out for 12 hours tomorrow.
Wow.
And then I'm straight back and then I'm straight out for my work Christmas night out.
Oh.
Which I'm not going to get home till about 1 a.m.
Oh.
And then I am on the road for an away game at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Long old one for you, Chris.
Yeah, and then my daughter's playing for the older group, second half for them after our game. So I'm driving from our game to their game, which is a 40-minute drive for her to play there. And then it's a 40-minute drive from there back to my house. So I'm not going to get back until about 1, maybe 2 o'clock. I'm actually looking forward to Sunday doing nothing. And I mean nothing.
Literally nothing but watch Spurs and Chelsea. Fair play to you, sir. Oh, right. I've scouted the weekend schedule. I've done that. I'm going to bring the listener. I've brought you some games you should be watching. I never suggest Premier League games because that would just be boring. So I'm bringing you a big game, the biggest game of the season. Maybe for me, maybe for you, it won't be. Over in America, Saturday night, we have the MLS Cup final, 9 p.m. GMT. So it's a nice friendly time. LA Galaxy against the New York Red Bulls. And I am hyped for this one. I am. The Galaxy, they haven't won the Cup since 2014. The Red Bulls have never won it. Star man for the Galaxy, Ricky Puig, he's been ruled out of a torn ACL, which is a huge loss. Marco Reus, time to step up. Can he lead the Galaxy to their first MLS Cup in a decade? I can't wait to see how it plays out. I hope it doesn't go to extra time because I don't want to stay up that late. Oh, my word.
Really rock and roll lifestyle, Mikey.
I know. I'm just like,
I don't want to stay up till 11 p.m.
It's kind of one of them where if Seattle had beaten Galaxy and they would have been in it, yeah, I'd have watched it. But I'd have been so terrified that we'd do it because I've watched obviously us twice in the final. We won one and then lost the other, and it sucks to lose any final. We all know that it sucks to lose any final. It does. So. Yeah. Now, before we move to the news, this is so awesome for me, for the team, everything. I'm excited to announce, listener, something special at the Bridge Pod, because over the years we've been approached about sponsorships and ads, and we've always held off because if we were ever going to bring a message to what we feel is our platform, because that's what we feel we've got now. We've got a platform. We have you loyal listeners, as we saw with Spotify Wrapped. It had to mean something. It had to mean something. And that's why we are proud to partner with Head in the Game, which is a mental health charity using football to make a difference. So just a quick brief on them. Their free programs help adults of any ability find support, community, and a boost for their mental well-being. It's a cause that aligns perfectly with our love for the game and the idea that football can bring and does bring people together in incredible ways. So genuinely, I encourage you so much to check out their amazing work at headinthegame.co.uk. And I feel like together we will use this platform to share the positive message and make a difference, because mental health affects us all. And I know so many listeners have reached out to us to say how much of a positive listening to our show has been for them. And that's why you won't see any betting sponsors gambling. We didn't want to do that. If it was anything, it'd be a charity, and that's what we felt was the best way. And yeah, I'm just so proud of it. I really am. And I know you guys are as well.
Yeah, we're very lucky to be working with them. And as you guys know, we don't really get any remuneration or anything for this show. We do it all for free, and we always will.
That's the thing.
Or at least for now. So this is really just something to help you guys. And we want to. They do such good work over there at Head in the Game. So we just wanted to get their message out there as well. So
exactly, and it affects us all. It always does. Like even myself, all of us here, we have bad days. We do, and it's always important to talk about them. It is. So with that, we are going to hit some news. It's that time of the week. We're going to check out the news you may have missed, or you may not have missed, in the elevator of Chelsea news. Chelsea are committed to waiting until March at the earliest before allowing their position in the Premier League table to help determine what the club can fight for this season. Levi Colwill is seen internally as a potential future Chelsea captain. Enzo Maresca says Chelsea have yet to make a decision over whether to recall midfielder Leslie Overchuk from his loan spell at Southampton. And finally, former Denmark boss Kasper Hjulmand is apparently one of the names on West Ham's shortlist should Lopetegui get the boot. Honestly, I saw that. I feel like I could add on this. I thought, it feels like West Ham's managerial strategy is just Googling available managers and thinking, why not? Because I look at West Ham, I feel they need a strong person in charge, a strong personality. Hjulmand's a lovely guy. He's a decent coach. He doesn't scream Iron Hammer energy to me. But hey, whatever. Maybe Graham Potter will finally get a job.
They need that. You know who's good and available is that. What's his name? David Moyes. He's pretty good. Isn't he?
No, not the David Moyes.
Do you know what? I'm really looking forward to actually. That could be my highlight of the weekend. This probably shows what I, like my psyche more than anything. But El Sacco this weekend with Wolves, West Ham.
It's so true.
Looking forward to them.
Oh my word! So I will go to one actual thing of news. I've got two bits of news, but the one happened moments ago, and I'm so sorry. I'll report it. FIFA Club World Cup group. We're in Group D. We've got Flamengo. Oh, I like them. I do like them.
Nice.
Chelsea, that's us. Club Lyon and Espérance de Tunis, who are from Tunisia. I personally never heard of that club, and I'll be honest, I didn't know the draw was happening today until it came up on my phone. I just don't care about this competition. I just don't care. I don't know if you do. I just don't care.
Do you know what? Do you know the reason I care? It's because it's the newest version. Like it's the newest one. So it's interesting to see it for the first time. It's it's gonna be nice to see like this sort of more global approach that they're doing. And hey, might even win a trophy out of it. And it's only once every 4 years. So there is a little bit more prestige to it than there used to be. So you never know. It could be interesting.
I'd rather have our players have a break. I mean, it would be lovely.
Well, the other 3 years they will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're assuming well then you got the Euro. Well, next year you've got obviously the Club World Cup. Year after that you got the Euros.
Yeah, details.
I'm just saying. Chris, do you care? Because you might be the more positive one out of us three.
But it's like you don't know me at all. No, I don't. To be honest with you, maybe I will nearer to the time, but right now, no, I couldn't give a shit.
No, it will give us something to talk about.
I think it's going to be one of those things where it might turn out better than you expect it to, but it might just be awful. And I don't think many of the big clubs are actually going to take it that seriously. I know they've been told that they've got to play their strongest team, but what's to stop them just? Yeah, that's how. What's to stop them just saying, "Well, he's injured, so he can't play." What defines?
That's the point I love. Yeah. What defines strongest teams?
Exactly.
Exactly. We could be fielding Robert Sanchez going, no, don't worry, he is our strongest goalkeeper.
FIFA are going, he can't be.
No, really, we mean it.
I've looked at all the groups and none of them, I might have cared a bit more if I'd have got what I wanted. Chelsea and Seattle in the same group. I haven't got it, so I don't care. Where did Seattle get? I think they got Atletico Madrid. I feel that, Atletico, PSG, and Botafogo. They could go
through, couldn't they?
No, they aren't going to beat Atletico or PSG.
Well, they might beat them.
Not with that attitude.
I mean, maybe it's a one-off game. You never know. Who knows? Listener, let us know if you care. I just, yeah.
We need the we do not care soundbite.
Oh, I've
for that.
still got it. I've still got it. It's there.
We do not care.
I've still got
There we go.
it. So, before I forgot about that, I was desperate for some news for us to discuss, and then I stumbled upon Court Offside's website, which I must say nowadays is a bit more reliable than it used to be. They reported that Chelsea are understood to have made it clear to clubs that Mykhailo Mudryk is set to be made available in the upcoming window. He struggled, obviously. Apparently, this is their article. It's not my words. Please don't tell me off. The Ukraine international has struggled to impress during his time at Stamford Bridge, and sources close to the situation have informed Court Offside that he could now leave on loan, with Newcastle, Crystal Palace, and Barcelona showing an interest. What the hell? What? That's a weird trio of clubs. Like, you've just think about that. You've got one club going for the top six, another fighting relegation, and the other arguably probably one of the better teams in Spain right now, maybe in Europe. But I mean, he wasn't
don't buy it.
he wasn't in the squad last night against Southampton, and no one seems to know why.
He was ill,
I don't.
apparently. I heard he was unwell.
Oh, okay.
What I don't understand about that is none of those three clubs would be worth going to. He wouldn't play at Newcastle ahead of Anthony Gordon.
True.
So he's going to go and sit on their bench instead of us.
True.
If he goes to Crystal Palace, they're going to be in a relegation battle. So again, it's sending someone into a situation that's completely irrelevant to the team he's coming back to. And he wouldn't get in the Barcelona team either. So
he's not getting ahead of Rafinha, is he?
No,
Or Yamal. Come on.
What 3 pointless loans that would be?
You're right. Actually, you are bloody right, because in theory you think, oh, Barcelona, but then you look at Lamine Yamal when he's back fit, and obviously Rafinha, who's having an absolute insane season. He ain't playing ahead of them. So what's the point?
If I could pick somewhere for him to go, it'd be Dortmund.
That's a really good shout. With the spaces in behind in the Bundesliga, he'd cook.
Yeah. Bundesliga's the one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He'd probably be really, really good over there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, personally, as soon as I read the three clubs, I was like, yeah, I believe this is just drummed up for clicks. It felt that kind of story.
I don't buy it either. It's one of those where it's just like, you'll probably hear another story in the next couple of weeks if it persists, of Chelsea coming out and saying we don't want to sell him. I mean, we always say that even if we do want to sell a player, but you know
that's true. Okay, right. So it's time for the midweek match report, because Chelsea took on Southampton in the Premier League. Joe Lumley on the ball. Oh, he's fucked it, and Madueke took Nkunku. It's 2-1 Chelsea. The only direction the Saints are marching is down to the Championship. Oh, yes, Southampton won. And that was our own fault. Chelsea 5.
I really do. I would love it in actual commentary if they went, oh, he's fucked it.
As soon as I of course, we all know where I was when Joe Lumley did it. I was making drinks, so I came back and had to watch the recap on Amazon. And I thought, yeah, what was he doing? You can't. We've learned playing out from the back is bad. You've just given it to a fourth choice goalkeeper who's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, incredible. Winners and losers, and we kick off with winners as always. How many have we got? Who have you got?
I've got 3.
I've got 3 and 2.
I've got 3 and 3.
Wow. I'm okay. You know what, Chris? I want to hear your first winner. Go on.
Jorgensen.
Yeah, he's one of mine.
I didn't have him because I was hoping someone else would.
Well,
yes. Yes.
He was a winner because he got to play.
He did.
So that made him almost an automatic winner. But actually, I thought he had a really good game as well. Thought he did everything that you would want. Made some good saves. Don't think he could have done anything with the goal. Looked quite comfortable with his feet. I don't understand why he hasn't started before now.
I mean,
not because I think he's a top class goalkeeper, but he's better than Robert Sanchez. And I could have understood. It would have made more sense, the whole situation, if Jorgensen had come in last night in the Premier League and played really badly. You'd have thought, nah, that's why he hasn't been playing. But he came in and he looked more solid than our number one. So I don't understand it.
He looked so comfortable last night, and there was one point blank save that he made that sort of went just under his body as he
really good save.
He was so good. Like you could go, he didn't keep a clean sheet. I'm not being funny. He didn't gift them a goal.
Neither would Sanchez.
Yeah.
If that's the bar, we're in hell, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm going to be biased, but I genuinely was happy to see him start, and I was even happier to see him put in a performance against a Premier League team that would they do well in the Europa Conference League? I don't know, probably not.
No.
Ollie, why was he a winner for yourself?
just in certain moments in the game, he was really important. Actually, like, there was a few moments where Southampton got in behind, and they got into some big spaces around us, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in losers. But yeah, just a few moments where he really kind of made the difference in the game. Like we were either 0-0 or 1-0 or 1-1. It was a close early on in the game when he made that early good save. I think it might have been the first minute of the game actually.
Yeah, it was
Where,
0-0, yeah.
Yeah, when he made that save, and if that goes in, you're looking at a different game now. I
Yeah.
know Southampton play the way they play. We probably would have scored and gone back into it anyway. But the game is different by default, and he made it easier for us there. And that's your job as a goalkeeper, to make things easier for the rest of your team.
Yeah.
And you really can't fault him because that's what he did.
I mean, the momentum shift obviously we scored, we took a 1-0 lead, but then the momentum shifted all Southampton, and they scored, and he had to he kept it at 1-1, and that he did his job. He did his job effectively. So I was just bloody happy to see him start and play so well. And then obviously Maresca said he ain't playing Sunday, and I was like, oh great, cheers. Well, oh well. All right, so my first winner, I've got Noni Madueke, my guy.
Yeah, he's on mine as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's back on the winners list. Yes, come on, what a performance! First, there's no stat drop club. Come on, calm down. His first play for Nkunku's goal was quite brilliant. It was, he's spot on pressing, sharp anticipation. It's the kind of decision making that it makes those defenders want to fake an injury because he can embarrass you when he wants. And then he scored his own goal. He scored. I mean, it's a chef's kiss. It was a quick shimmy, shifts to the left, curls the top far corner. It looks like he's been doing that every day since he was at nursery. I mean, the only knock I would put on his performance was that
he could have scored about 5.
Yeah, he didn't score a hat trick because honestly, the chances he had, he should have walked off with the match ball and a standing ovation. Yeah. And can I just say, he bloody loves an away game, doesn't he? That's when he performs.
I think we know what he thinks of Southampton as a city.
I did think, Chris, he's a winner for yourself. Why?
Thought he was very effective. I thought, like you said, his pressing for the Nkunku goal was really good. But not just that, the fact that he won the ball and then had the presence of mind to find the right pass. He didn't rush and try and go himself because he'd done all the hard work. He rolled it on a plate for Nkunku, and those sort of moments I think are crucial in games, because that if he makes a different decision there and goes for goal and misses, it could be a moment we're looking back at the end of the game having not won. So the fact that it was really good, quick decision after some good work rate, which I thought he showed all game. Actually, I just thought he looked dangerous all game. I mean, he is up against an absolute god awful team, but he really made them pay, and that's all you can ask for, really. Players to be effective in the moments that they get, and he was, except for, like you said, the chances he missed in the second half was almost like he was too relaxed. I think the whole team fell into that trap, actually, of it being too easy.
Here's a question for you guys, because Maresca came out after the game and he said about Noni specifically. He said that he wasn't playing recently because of how he trained, and he needed to understand that he can do more in game. What do you think of that?
I mean, it works. I mean, we've all questioned it, that if Maresca's got the cojones to say that and to do these decisions, he's got to back him up. He's backed him up so far, so I'll back him with this one as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Those sort of things from a coach's point of view, there's always risk. There's always risk involved because you don't know how the player's going to respond. But I suppose at the moment we've got so many options in attack that if Madueke doesn't respond in the right way, we've got other players. It's not like, I don't think you do that if you've only got 3 attackers that are any good. For instance, Liverpool wouldn't do that with Salah.
No,
It
no.
just
No,
wouldn't happen.
because he scored like
Because
seven. I saw a stat the other day that said he scored about 75% of their goals, or he's had like a hand in
yeah,
75% of their goals this season.
Wow.
Lunacy, total
do you know what I mean?
lunacy.
So yeah, you wouldn't do it then. But I think at
No.
the moment, what the good thing for Maresca is he's really in the position of all power because there's not many players that he couldn't say something like that about, and we
Mm.
don't have a replacement for.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it puts him in a position of power. But it works, and fair play to Madueke. You know, players they always have the option of how to respond to those things, and he responded in the right way.
Mm. Ollie, second winner, please.
Second winner for me is goal scorers. You
Oh,
know, we won 5-1, five different goal scorers. We've got goals coming out of our ears in this team at the moment and from all over the pitch as well. Last season, we were relying so heavily on Cole Palmer that a lot of us were really concerned about what was going to happen this season when teams did start to double up on him. And we said he
Yeah.
needs to open up the opportunities then for other players to get in and make things happen. Now, of course, Cole did get his goal, and like, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to say it's his best one ever. I mean, he smashed it in
yeah.
from about a yard out.
Agreed.
But yeah, it's nice to see that we got five different goal scorers on the night. Sancho got his debut goal, Disasi got one, and Kunku got one, Noni got one. So like, and all across the front line as well from different positions. Like so it's just nice to see. I guess like we're not relying necessarily on just Cole Palmer anymore. This club is slowly building something more sustainable than that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Right, my second winner was Enzo Maresca.
He was my third.
Nice. Look, he went full mad scientist for me with the starting 11. He rotated half the squad. Everyone was raising an eyebrow so high it nearly left their forehead. And yet, hold up, we cruised to a comfortable win. Could have had a few more goals, yeah, I know, if we felt like it. And you know what? To top it off, the Chelsea away fans, which they're the core, we always classify the away fans as what the actual bigger picture of the club is, what the fans really think. They broke out in song for him. Now, you know the rule. If the away fans are singing your name positively, you're doing something right. It's kind of like the football equivalent of a Michelin star, and if he keeps us winning and on the up, he will be writing his name in Stamford Bridge folklore. You know what happens when we have an Italian manager. Just saying. So, Ollie, winner. Why?
Well, I mean, what more could you really ask for? I mean, we're second in the table at the moment, behind a Liverpool team that's absolutely flying, by the way. He's come in and he's turned what was a promising but ultimately not ready, underperforming, sort of hit and miss kind of young team into a proper squad that's actually working together with proper tactics, that are working for each other, fighting for each other, who are playing a good and interesting style of play that the players all seem to be interested in. He's rotating properly. He's making sure that everyone gets their minutes so everyone's happy. Like as a manager at the moment, there are about 100 things he's done right and maybe two or three that he's done that we could consider that he's done wrong. And when you've got that kind of record after only 4 months, it just feels like he belongs here. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like he is supposed to be at Chelsea. And I think when people will say things like "we've got our Chelsea back," I think that's what they mean. That sort of feeling, that sort of disconnect that people have felt around the club for quite a long time. Hiring a Spurs manager and having someone like Graham Potter in and all the rest of it. That's back now because it feels like the manager deserves to be there, and that really matters.
Yeah, I fully understand and agree with you there. That's the thing. And the away support last night was incredible, as it always is. Have we got our Chelsea? I've read and I've heard, and I'm thinking, have we got our Chelsea back? It depends what you think and define as Chelsea back. Because I start to think of obviously the season ticket prices going up and all the concession, and there was the things that got removed, and look at the price of the bloody kits, for example. I mean, that probably isn't so much on the club as it is with the brand. There's a lot. I can see.
I think in terms of like we've got our Chelsea back. I think for me that's still a little early in terms of like. I think we've got to win something.
I agree.
But you definitely start to feel the feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's there. There's a little kindling. It's right there, and it's been extinguished for a couple of years now. And that's really special to have that
I think
back.
what upset. I mean, this is going off on a tangent, but what I thought of was, have we got our club back? Do you remember? And I don't know if some listeners might have actually genuinely forgot, but look it up. Unfortunately, it's true that the ownership considered They didn't, but they considered rising ticket prices by up to 40% in an attempt to boost the revenue. And you're like, yeah, everyone can afford a ticket to that game. Yeah. And you just think you got to consider everyone, because not everyone's going to have that expendable income. But
I think,
go on, Chris.
I think when fans are singing that, they are talking specifically about on the pitch.
I agree.
I don't think we're taking into consideration, because ultimately, as football fans, we don't really care. We care about what's going on the pitch. Obviously, people who would be stupid enough to pay an extra 40% on their ticket price would care.
It's just so expensive.
But overall, football fans care about results. And I think the thing is, I'm someone who I have on record that I doubted the Maresca appointment. I'm warming to him now. I still think we have to guard against it a little. I think it's great that the fans were singing his name, because support goes a long way, and it gets that feeling. And I think support's always better than the negative side. We've been through it now with booing our own managers and own players, and that doesn't work. And we've said that so many times. So support is always better, but I do think people need to just curb it a little, because I think until he wins something, things can change very quickly.
Of course.
Shut up, Chris. We're doing a title charge.
Football's a fickle game.
On that, my final winner is believing again. I shouldn't have said that so depressingly. Believing again. Yes, it's a winner, because dare we say it? Are we really there? Could it be true? Are we in the title race?
I don't think we'll be in a title race, but we could do what Man United did the year they finished second under Solskjaer. And you finish second, you was never going to win the league, but you finished second, because I think we are as good as everyone else in the league at the moment.
I'm starting to believe we might just be in the title race. It feels so weird considering where we were a year ago.
I think
a year before that, to say that.
I think the thing is there is no title race unless Liverpool continue to drop points. At the moment, it's a second place race at the moment, and which we're winning.
They're not going. They're not going. They're not. I still see we are the underdogs. We're the smaller horse. We're not racing yet. We're prepped for next year's race. But right now, I think whatever milk that Maresca's feeding our horse, it's doing well. And I'm happy to see
horses drink milk.
I don't know. I didn't really think through the analogy, but I've gone full Mourinho here.
Listen, they might. I don't know.
I think we're in the title race. That's what I'm saying. Chris, round off your winners, please.
Christopher Nkunku.
Yes.
Got his opportunity to start a Premier League game. Don't think he was outstanding, but got a goal and an assist. And ultimately, again, we had it for so long with inefficient attackers in our team, who could have a great game, but they'd get nothing. They wouldn't get a goal. They wouldn't get an assist. We'd miss loads of chances. I'd rather have it this way around, where I thought he had an okay game, not a brilliant game, but he'd come off the pitch with a goal and an assist. And for me, that's what the best teams do. They have ruthlessly efficient attackers who only need to be good in 5-10 minutes of a game, and they can win you the game in that 5 or 10 minutes. They don't have to be great for 90 minutes. And then Nkunku took his chance, was given an opportunity and took it. And now he won't do, because Jackson will come back in. But at least it's gave the manager something to think about now.
Yeah, true. Right. As we had winners, we have losers. I'm going to go with my first one. I've only got 2. I was nice. I've got Southampton. It's not.
I also have
Southampton.
You know what? It's not often I stick the opposition on the losers list, but oh boy, you earned it. You earned it. Even with 11 men, they were dreadful. Like, did they just forget how to play football? Dreadful.
They are the worst team in the Premier League by a mile.
Can I just say that we lost? They did the double overs when they got relegated before. So I'm glad this was not just this was a trap game, and we beat them. That's important for me. But the thing is, Jack Stevens went and got himself sent off for pulling Kukureya's hair, which, let's be honest, that's a weird life choice to do it. Yeah, maybe he thought
Stupid.
Anthony Taylor was the referee. He wasn't. And then after that, it just got worse. I mean, usually when we see a team with 10 men, they sit back. They just thought, no, fuck that. They continue as if they had maybe 11, 15 people on the pitch. Honestly, if they play like that, it's looking like a quick return ticket to the championship for them because they
It was
just look
crackers, wasn't it?
horrible.
Do
I
you
mean,
know
You know,
what I
and
hate?
5-1. Wow.
What I hate is Southampton, and more specifically, their manager. They sum up for me what's wrong with modern football. He is a manager who. What was they when? What was the score when they went down to 10 men? Was it already 3-1?
uh, yeah, I think it was
Let-
two
I think
one
it,
3-1, something like that.
yeah. So you're playing a team that's already superior, and you go down to 10 men, and you're already pretty much you've lost the game. Um,
Mhm.
your thought now should be damage limitation, but he would rather stick to his identity and his principles and way of playing, and ultimately get sacked than adapt and maybe keep his job. And I think he sums up at the minute everything that's wrong with modern football. That too many coaches now, they're just sheep. They're doing what is trendy and cool, this playing out from the back, and we want to get the goalkeeper involved. No, you adapt to your players, and if you've got a keeper and who can't kick a football, you don't use him. Don't use him as a footballer. Then it's pointless. And the way they lost this game. Personally, I'm absolutely shocked he wasn't sacked at full time, because if I'm the Southampton owner watching that, he would have been sacked at half time.
Yeah, I think the thing is yeah, just persisting with that style of play. Like
Yeah,
I always hear like some people say, like a manager can come in with his kind of style of play and really like make an effect on a team, and that's not necessarily untrue. But you've got to remember it's a player's game. Players are tactics to a certain degree, right? You have to adapt to your best players and the best ways in which they play. Can you get them to change over time and ultimately mold them into something that fits what you want to do? Absolutely.
Mm.
But if you're trying to play this like beautiful, expansive style of football that worked in the Championship, but now you're in a relegation point in the Premier League, you have to be more pragmatic than that.
yeah.
And it's like they're signing their own death warrant. It's like, they're not even bothered about staying up this season. I've never really seen anything like it. Even someone like Vincent Kompany, who at Burnley said he was going to stick to the more, the style of play that got them promoted with a record number of points the season prior. Even he eventually changed some stuff pragmatically to shore things up at the back, and you just think, what are you doing? Especially with the players that they had out as well. They had something like 13 players out,
Well,
and
the
you're
fourth
still
choice
trying to
keeper.
fourth
I
choice
couldn't, I
keeper, and
couldn't
you're
tell
and
you
you're
who ours
still
is.
trying to and they're still trying to play that way. I just don't understand it.
They've
Like,
won. They've won 4 times, or sorry, 3 times all season, and that was
and
Millwall.
they'll be lucky if they
Millwall?
win three more with the way
Sorry,
that they're playing.
not Millwall. They beat Cardiff and Stoke in the EFL Cup, and then Everton in the Premier League. I
I
mean,
think
yeah, mad.
watching them last night, I think they are the worst team I've seen in the Premier League since Derby.
Worse than Sheffield United last year.
They
Yeah,
were bad,
They
but
beat us,
I
so
don't.
that
Uh,
happens.
they are one of the worst teams in the Premier League ever. But the thing that makes them, and I think this is where Chris is going with it. The reason I think they are up there is because they can change it if they want to, and they're choosing not to.
yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is a very, very good point. Yeah, so a rarity, but Southampton, you're a loser. Ollie, second loser for us.
Yeah. So moving on from Southampton, who of course, as Chris would say, it wasn't a real game. Um,
It's not a
I
real
want to
game.
talk. I want to talk about one of the downsides for me of the game from our side. And listen, we won 5-1, so I'm not going to get too upset about it. But as Mikey very rightly says a lot on this show, you can't tolerate in a win what you wouldn't in a loss.
Correct.
And for me, a big loser was spaces. And what I mean by that is because there were so many times, especially in the first half and especially before the red card, where we gave Southampton, so much space in midfield. You could have sailed an aircraft carrier through our midfield. There was so much space. Both of our fullbacks got absolutely torched with the spaces that they were leaving in behind as well, and that led to several cutbacks. Ultimately, led to their goal and led to several other dangerous opportunities as well. And so I understand this is the B team, and again, I'm not trying to be too negative because we did win, but there, if and I said this at the time, with the way that we were playing at the back, and actually in the second half until we scored the fourth and fifth, the way that we were playing in the second half being so wasteful, I
Mm.
was actually on the precipice of saying it wasn't a fantastic performance given the
Oh,
level of opposition that we were playing,
yeah.
because Southampton are truly, truly awful. And so just defensively, we must make sure that we don't leave those kind of spaces against anyone else in the Premier League because anyone else will punish us, no doubt.
Interesting you say that because I feel like I might as well just put my final loser in because it kind of is the other end, finishing. Just finishing.
Yeah,
I mean, we had 26 shots, 13 on target, 10 big chances. This is a stat drop in itself. 7 big chances missed. Ah, I mean, it could have been 8, 9, or 10, 1.
we could have scored 10. I
We,
genuinely think we could
I
have done.
fully believe we did, but we at times we had the shooting accuracy of a stormtrooper. I mean, maybe I'm just being greedy and I should be happy with the 5 goals, but I think this could have been a statement win. We could have just gone, look, this team suck. We're good. We're on the up. And 5-1. I mean, I'm happy. I promise you I'm happy. But could have been more. Chris, thoughts on that and you're a second loser for us.
Well, my second loser is similar.
Oh,
It's just us out of possession.
Mm.
I think
yes. Yeah.
it's been a worry for me all season, to be honest. The way we work out of possession, I don't think is great. I think we do give up a lot of opportunities in transition when we give the ball away. I think we're too easy to play through. I think it's too easy for teams to start running at our back four. Uh,
Hmm.
and even in this game against an absolutely god awful team. To be fair, first half, defensively, we got ripped apart by Kyle Walker Peters.
Yeah. And
That's a
what more can you
concern.
really say about that?
Yeah, and I agree with you, Ollie. I think the scoreline does make it seem like a better performance than it was. I thought we was as good as we needed to be to beat an awful team, but I don't think we was great. And I thought off the ball, I'd argue we was arguably poor against a really poor quality team to give them the chances that they had. I think Southampton have walked in that dressing room thinking we should have scored 3 today. They still
And
would
we
have
should have
lost.
conceded 9.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
but I can guarantee that that would have been brought up in their post-match, when you look for a positive. They created a plenty of opportunities to score, and I think realistically they probably should have scored 3 goals. And if we'd conceded 3 goals to them, that would have been a
Oh,
real worry.
I
So
agree.
I know there was a lot of rotation, but I see similar things when we have the normal players playing as well. And I just think if there is one thing that we look back on, if we do end up going into a title race, I think the thing we will look back on if we don't win it will be giving up too many chances to the opposition will ultimately cost us. I don't think we're
Mm,
tight enough at the back.
yeah, I'd back you on that. Right, Ollie, final loser for us.
final loser for me is Mike Dean. uh,
Okay.
Seems like a bit of a strange one, but let me tell you why. So Mike Dean was the VAR the day that Cucurella's hair was first pulled in the Premier League. Of course, this isn't an isolated incident, and he famously did not want Anthony Taylor to go to the monitor because he's his mate, or they were colleagues that day, and so you got to back him or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely wrong decision. And then after this, after it happened again against Cucurella with Stevens, who is what is he doing by the way? But I saw there was a clip that came out afterwards with Mike Dean on the panel or whatever of what they were talking about, and he said yes, it was definitely a red card and he definitely needed to be sent off. And I'm struggling to reconcile where Mike Dean stands on things, and so I'm finding he's just got inconsistencies in your story, Mike. I'm just interested to know what you really think. That's all.
I totally back that. I totally back that. Right, Chris, final loser for you. Who is it?
Uh, My final loser is the only player on the list, and
Oh.
it's a bit. I'll be honest with you, it's a bit harsh.
Oh,
So I
it's
will
not
say
Jack.
that
Better
now.
not be Felix.
No,
He's good at
it's Caicedo.
Oh,
Really? I thought he was good.
what? Okay, what?
I thought off the ball, he didn't put out as many fires as he has been in the other few weeks. I think he's seen. I have a concern over Caicedo that we're going to burn him out.
Well, like Kante.
Yeah, because he's our own. He's the only midfielder in our team who will play every game. He had that awkward landing towards the end, which was a freak thing. But you do think, is that because his muscles are tired and he's lost his foot in there? He didn't seem as energetic as normal, which could be because it's a midweek game. He was a little bit sloppy on the ball, just a little drop off from where he has been. Not enough to say he was bad. I just don't think he was at the level he has been at for like 6-7 weeks, which is normal. But I do think you do see how much easier we are to play against when Caicedo isn't quite at it. And I think that was a lot of the reason why Southampton had so much joy, because his level was below where he has been. And it's really, actually, it's almost a compliment to him, because it shows how important he is that he plays well.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. I still think it's a smidge harsh, but I can see where you're coming from for sure.
Okay. Right. What are we doing for emojis? What have we got?
For me, it's the Italian flag.
Oh, nice.
Enzo Maresca. He's got that Italian sort of, Chelsea heritage that he does. Italian managers, they always seem to do pretty well at the Chelsea, and he's another one.
I have got, do you know what? I've got a thought on this.
Go on.
Why do we hire anything but Italian managers?
I know. I
like
think
when Maresca does go, and he will go at some point. When he goes, get another Italian.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Only look at Italians. Our record with Italian managers is really good. I just don't understand why we look elsewhere.
It's much better than our record with any other managers, more or less.
Yeah.
Look at even Sarri won a trophy. So say
exactly.
What you want.
We haven't had an Italian manager who has completely failed.
That's absolutely spot on.
I fully agree. Yeah. You know what?
Even Ranieri didn't fail.
Got us top four. Got us top four. And a title challenge.
Right. I mean, Claudio Ranieri delivered us Roman Abramovich. So,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I've got back-to-back Friday shows where I've dropped the shrug because
it's not a real game.
It felt like it wasn't. It just felt like it. It felt like it. Chris, did you do an emoji?
No, I'll go simple. High five.
Woo! I'll take it.
Nice.
I will take it. So move into Lion of the midweek, because we're going to check out our midweek picks.
Forgot who I picked.
Yeah, I forgot who I picked. So, Chris, you went with Pedro Neto. Okay.
Didn't play.
That was good. Didn't play.
I went with Jackson. Didn't play.
Didn't play.
Good.
I
2 for 2 so far.
Ollie, you had Felix. Now, I would give you this, but the wheel, and we mocked the wheel for this, they went with Madueke.
Yeah. I think
Madueke.
I do want to say, I thought Felix did have a good game, though.
He
played
did
some really, really nice passes, especially one to Palmer in the first half. Really, really good stuff from him.
Who was the go on, Chris?
Just on João Felix. If ever a game summed up what Ollie says about João Felix, it was this one. Had a really good game, but no end product, no assists.
He should have scored a hat trick.
Yeah. What was he doing with that? What was he doing with that header, by the way?
I don't get it, man. I don't understand why you've got to put it in the corner. Just get it on target.
Yeah, it's harder to miss.
I mean, are we giving Madueke the actual Lion?
Yeah.
I mean, we have to. Since Wolves, it's his first. So, right, we take on Spurs, of course. Who are you choosing?
There's only one man who I'm going to go with, Nicholas Jackson. I think he's now had a bit of a rest. He's going to come back better than ever, and he's going to absolutely smash the Spuds at the weekend.
You know what?
He hates Spurs. He hates Spurs.
I had that down because he had a rest in midweek. I'm happy to join the Jackson train. I am.
Go on.
Chris,
I'm going to double up and go Pedro Neto.
Nice.
Oh.
He will play.
I think he'll play, and his pace against that high line of Tottenham's, I think, should kill them.
Uh,
Should.
Come on, Wheel.
Yeah, I say should.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer. Oh,
Yeah,
Nice.
Will, you've
Oh,
got half a chance this week again.
The wheels played safe there.
yeah. I don't. You know what? I've just gone through the history. It's the first time the Wheel's chosen Palmer this year. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, it hasn't.
it's
No,
fair
sorry. It chose him for Manchester United. That didn't work out, did it?
It's almost
No,
like
it
it's
didn't.
random or something.
Yeah, some of that. Right. Quaresma's questions, and technically we've already answered one because we had John Goal, and I'll read theirs out because they put my number one podcast on Spotify, best Chelsea pod. But thoughts on
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But thoughts on Maresca's comments on Nani? Obviously, we've touched on that. Lane said, "Are we title contenders or not quite there yet?" I'm tempted.
No,
to say it.
little
No, not
horse
yet.
vibes.
Yeah,
That's where
not
we're
yet.
at.
Not yet. Kayla said, hot take, Disasi is actually a good player, but a shit right back. He does well when he's actually, and it doesn't show me the rest, but is he a good player, but a shit right back?
I think he's a decent centre back.
He's tall. That helps.
Tall, yeah, offers leadership, scores the odd goal like he did for us against Southampton. That's important. I mean, to be honest, if he had missed from there, I don't know what I would have done. But he's all right.
I think Disasi isn't as good as you'd want him to be, but he isn't as bad as people say he is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
He strikes me a little bit like not the actual like full year Ivanovic lost his legs.
Oh.
Do you remember like maybe like the first like 2 or 3 games of that where everyone went, "What's going on?" He's just always playing like that.
Yeah,
basically.
he's a bit like Kurt Zuma.
Yeah, could see it.
Okay.
Because Kurt Zuma was a bit like that, like
post injury Kurt Zuma.
Post injury
Yeah.
Kurt Zuma, yeah. His last stint at the club before we sold him. He was a bit like that. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good. But he could be good some games, but then he'd have horrendous moments. That's the Sassy all over.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll move him on. I can't see him staying with us.
No. I did. I've gone through the ones on Twitter, and I did. Ahmed had said, "Can't wait for Chris's. It's not a real game." I'm guessing they might mean the sound drop, and they went, "This one should be fun because we were equal parts great and shite." And I'm like, "Yeah,
it's kind of true. Yeah,
it's so true.
Yeah, so true."
You know what? I'll end with Dan, who's put, "What would the score be if our A team played our B team?" Well, I don't know because Sanchez is in goal for our A team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
You know what I mean?
I think if our A team played our B team, I think they'd win 4-2.
I think Sanchez is conceding more than 2.
No, that's why I think Sanchez concedes 2, but I think the rest of the defense holds it to just 2, and the attack of the A team scores at least 4. I think past our B team's defense.
Yeah, I think our A team attack kills our B team's defense. Cole Palmer and Jackson against Disasi and Tosin.
Oh, forget about it.
3-0.
It's got to be a bloodbath in training every week, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So.
Oh dear, Chris.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, here we go.
He's got one hand on the trophy.
It's
what we're all here for.
Not yet. I think we all need to calm down because Chris, he can win. He can't win it today, but he can get one hand on the trophy because as it stands,
thought you could win it today.
Yeah, I thought I could win it today.
Well, Ollie won last week.
Yeah.
So Ollie's on 12. You're on 14, and there
are 3 shows left?
No, including this one. There's 4 weeks left to the year.
Okay.
That's what I mean. So you can still do it. So
That's close, Ollie.
The category is Premier League because penalties are an integral part of football. They are. I mean, what I want to know is, can you name me the 25 players with the most penalties scored in Premier League history? And thank fuck there was none scored this week of any of these players, so it doesn't alter the charts. So. Ollie, you know what? I'm going to give you it. I'm going to let you go first, Ollie.
I think that's only fair as the title challenger. I'm going to go with Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard has scored 43 penalties, and he's on the list.
Alan Shearer.
55 penalties.
Steven Gerrard.
Has 32 penalties.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane has 33.
Wayne Rooney.
23.
Really? Only 23? Okay.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah has 29.
Aguero.
Sergio Aguero, 27.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno
That's a good one.
Fernandes has 20 penalties.
It's a bit of a risk. I'm going to go with Eden Hazard.
His first
good
shirt
shout.
number at Chelsea was 17, and that is the exact amount of penalties he scored for Chelsea.
Nice.
He's on the list, naturally, of course.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, 23 penalties.
No, I forgot about it. Letitia.
Matt Letitia has 25 penalties.
Good penalty taker he was.
Mm.
Van Nistelrooy.
Rude Van Nistelrooy, 18 penalties. I feel like he scored more than that.
Yeah, it was Man United under Fergie. They got one every week.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark Noble.
Mark Noble, 28.
That's a good shout. I'm trying to think of strikers who take penalties. Jamie Vardy.
Jamie Vardy has
I've said him. I've said him already.
No, you haven't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did. I
haven't.
said him earlier.
No, you didn't.
No, you
I
didn't.
swear I did.
No.
I swear I did.
No, you didn't.
You didn't.
Oh, I swear I did.
No, you didn't. No, I haven't highlighted it. And
I could have
Chris-
sworn I did.
we're, hang on, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We're
8,
going to have to
9.
check the recording. I could have
11,
sworn I said it.
No, 14 players have been said, so that would equal
Okay.
out. Yeah, sorry.
All right. Well,
You're
I'd
back
say-
in.
Maybe you thought him, Ollie.
Maybe I thought him. Damn it. Thought for half a second. I was so happy.
Has France been said?
No, France aren't on the penalty.
Cheers, bro. I'm going to go with Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane, 17.
Ooh.
He's on the list. He's just
that
on
was
it.
That was a rogue shout.
That's the lowest amount of penalties, by the way. No one's got less than
He used
17.
to take a lot of pens, I thought.
I just remember the somersault.
I'm gonna go with a risky one here,
Oh,
but I do feel like we did get a lot of penalties.
oh,
Jorginho.
Jorginho.
Sure.
Ollie.
Okay.
Ollie. No. Ollie, you've won. You've won.
Oh, I've won. All right, I thought I had to go. He survives another day. Chris, I'm coming for you. Don't call it a comeback.
Oh, I'm going to just cut in because there's a Lone Army carousel that everyone's laughing and you're thinking, listener, what's going on here? We just did a Lone Army carousel and I fucked it up. I did a Joe Lumley.
Mikey's had a howler.
I've just had an absolute howler because it was penalties and Chris did say a player that was on that list. It was Jorginho and I fucked up because I didn't have him on the list. So I've got a new Lone Army carousel in front of me from the official Premier League website. So I'm right. And
Nice.
it's the top 10 players with the most offsides in Premier League history.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, I've got to do something because otherwise, Ollie would have had a win. So Ollie, can you name me one of those top 10 players?
I'm gonna go with Jamie Vardy.
He's third with 287 as of recording.
This season or all time?
All time. And I've got the official list in
Jesus
front of me, so
Christ.
it's going to be right.
Jesus. I'm gonna go with, just because he was offside so often in a game at Stamford Bridge. Is it Aristo on the opening one?
All time.
All time.
All time.
I think it's too risky. I'm gonna go with Marcus Rashford.
Ollie, you've won anyway. It doesn't matter. You've won anyway. Marcus Rashford. Where was
Surely, why wouldn't you just name like any striker?
he? Marcus Rashford. I can't even find him in this. Oh, he's on 128. He's joint 34th.
Surely, like, because even the best strikers have been offside like all the time, like Drogba and Rooney.
I'll give you it.
And
I'll give
Aguero.
you it. So you had number 1, Adebayor, 328.
Jesus,
Defoe,
That's
100 times
ridiculous.
offside.
Defoe, 314. Darren Bent, 276. Berbatov, 238. Benteke, 227. The king of offside, which we thought he was, Lukaku with 206. Harry Kane with 204. Van Persie with 198. And Agbonlahor with 195.
So I don't think any of those would have been my first 3 guesses anyway. So I really don't think it matters.
Oh, wait.
That's what. Do you know what's just happened? I've gone. Like when Frank Lampard was made to retake that penalty and he scored it 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like right now.
Listeners are going to be like, where do I put? I might. Should we put the good old actual loan army carousel that we screwed up at the end then? Well, I screwed up.
No, do you know what? Do you know what I think we should do? Is we should have it as normal, and then you just tack this on the end, so we'll know if you didn't. If you complained, it means you didn't listen the whole way through.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll put that on. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So now I'm going to do the outro that I did previously. You're going to hear it. So yeah. So Ollie has now got 3 in a row. 3 in a row wins. Tell you what, it's looking tasty. 13 and 14. Ooh. But can you name me the others? Can you think who they could be?
I only had one more. And it was he used to take a lot of penalties, but he didn't in his older years. James Milner.
Yes, he's the only active player on the list with 17. Everyone else has retired.
David Unsworth?
No.
Gareth Bale?
No, but you've got to get. There's a Gareth.
Gareth.
It's the only other Gareth. Yeah,
Gareth Barry.
Yeah, 18. You've got a Gary.
It's not Neville, obviously.
Gary. Liverpool player.
McAllister?
Yes, indeed, with 18. You've got 2 players that were, one was at Liverpool, one was at Spurs. In fact, they're on TalkSport and Match of the Day. Well, the one is Match of the Day, the other's TalkSport.
Danny Murphy.
Danny Murphy with 18. And the one for TalkSport, striker, Charlton. I think he was like...
Darren Bent.
Darren Bent, 17. Now we're going old school names. So we've got a Newcastle icon with 18. Peter Beardsley. A Liverpool icon who played for City at some point.
Liverpool icon who played for City.
He might have sniffed the touchline.
Oh, Robbie Fowler.
Oh, Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler was 17. We have another. This guy was on our career path very recently. He's always looked 50. Yakubu is on the list, but he's not. He's not always looked 50.
He does always. I thought he's always looked old.
Yakubu has 18.
Teddy Sheringham.
Yes. And finally, the final player, Watford. I didn't know he scored this many penalties in the Premier League for Watford.
Troy Deeney?
Really? Troy Deeney is on the list. I was like, what? Wow, that's insane. Bloody hell,
Fair enough.
Yeah, we can't argue with it. So, yeah, it's still mad. Absolutely mad.
That's mental, that.
Yeah. Well, we're at the end of an episode. Thank you as always for listening, because just it means so much. And we saw with your Spotify Wrapped how much it means to you. So thank you, as always. Treat yourself well. We will be back on Monday because we've got winners and losers from Chelsea and Spurs, and the women are back in action after the international break. So till next time, that will be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.